get the free stuff, mate. Go on. There's a free course there. Just go get that. And if it makes sense, do the rest. If not, don't. But it's all there.
Okay, then some other questions here. Ian, do you have any info on the Polkadot Bitcoin project? You're apparently testing just now, wrap Bitcoin on the Polkadot network. Okay, I mean, I haven't looked too much into that, so don't have any comments on that. Then question here from Mark. How far down in a coin have you been and not sold? Oh man, depends. I mean, the coins, I mean, because me personally, the few coins I haven't sold are the ones where I can't even sell. There's no liquid market at all. Right? So you're basically just wrecked. But I mean, I think in general, sometimes you have to just cut your losses. But it depends on, because for me, it's more as a fundamental investor or long-term investor where the fundamentals fundamentally change and my long-term outlook on that project changes to a point where I think my capital can best be used elsewhere, where I'm willing to just take that loss, whether it's for tax treatment or what have you, right? But for a value investor, yeah, you have to just look at and see, has the company achieved its goals, its roadmap, or has there been any updates that have made you now change your long-term outlook on the project? Bill, your comments?
Okay, so we're answering this question pretty much every week, whether it's our clients or whether it's the live stream. So this question really is, I may have discovered something late in the game, bought the top, and it went all the way down. What do I do? That's how I would retranslate the question. Yeah. Okay. I would say do whatever is necessary to clear your head, right? If that means clear out the position so you're not looking at the red ink anymore, you can always go back in. But if you don't clear your head, the next thing you do will probably be wrong. So how far should you let it go down? We've established it to talk about stops, but not everyone does that. Hence we have, that's why we keep talking about it. So if you get wrecked, you can't fix the trade, but you can fix yourself.
Yeah. Now, one thing, just to chime in there, Bill, I think also lots of people in crypto are trading on these small exchanges or these DeFi dexes where some of them don't even have the basic stop option. So they basically end the pool naked. And then,
well, I mean, in cases of these things, I mean, there's also the idea that there's what I call like the psychological write-off, right? Like if you can't get out, then don't look at it anymore, right? It's gone. And then if it comes back, if Lazarus rises, great. Okay. Just don't let it wreck your head, right? Because I do understand people are playing on dexes, and I do understand that, if you paid 14 for X ETH and you can't get out when it's at 3, that it's a stressful situation, right? But, there's got to be a way to manage your head after you lose or after you lose big. Otherwise, how do you learn? How do you come back? How do you have a good human experience when you're not doing crypto?
All right. Craig?
Prior planning prevents piss poor performance. So plan your trade and trade your plan. If you don't know what you're going to do before you get in, don't get in. You got to have a plan. If you don't, and you can't have a plan of, oh, this thing's just going to go 1,000x or 100x or 5x or up 20 cents. You can't just have a positive look on these things. You're an investor. You've got to be smart. Before you got into crypto, what were you doing? Were you a professional investor? If so, this is a different market. It acts different. If you're a gardener, this is a different market. Like this is its own unique microcosm of all sorts of interesting things. Technology mixing with markets, mixing with psychology, mixing with very, very low market caps. Even Bitcoin's a low market cap. It's tiny. So these things move in ways that you may, well, if you've not traded before or invested before, or even if you have, this is the most insane market in the world, all right? you've got to get some plans in place. And for me, because I do invest, and I've done some good investments and I've done some shitty ones. My first objective is always to get my risk back. You know, if I've put, let's say, 20,000 US into something and it comes to market and it's worth 40,000, first thing I'm going to do is not just hit market sell and ruin it for everybody and wreck that market, right? I'm going to work that book, taking little bits. I might be here till 3 in the morning, but I'm going to work that book to get or at least half of my investment back, so that I can rest easy. But I have a plan for it. I know what I'm going to do. If you go into something with full of optimism and no plan B, you know, you got to expect that you're going to cop some pretty severe lessons at some point.
Well said. Well said. So to our audience, tell us what you think down in the comments below.